my name is Karen and I'm the administrator at the Midland Conservation District. This is Conservation Matters and we're here today with Dawn Hergott from the Aranac County Conservation District. And what are we doing today, Dawn?
We are bringing 175 fifth grade students to the farm, to the Goodrow Farm here in Sterling, Michigan. And they're going to learn about how a living farm works. This is a dairy farm and they're going to learn how that works. And they're also going to learn about conservation issues like the watershed, groundwater, and soil erosion.
Cool, so most kids don't even know what a farm is these days, do they?
Exactly. A lot of them we live in quite a rural community, but they don't spend time on the farm, so that's important for us to bring them out here and show them how it actually functions.
Well, cool. Welcome to the show. Thanks for letting us do this. We're going to have fun today. Here we go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Quick enough?
Okay, this farmer has about 300 dairy cows at this farm. These kids are going to really learn a lot about farming today. Dairy farm conservation practices that the farmers put on the earth. It's really important for our environment today and every day. So enjoy the show. Alright, here we have the milking parlor. So I'm going to go on inside here and see what this is all about. Alright. It's a little noisy, but it's pretty cool. Guess there's nobody in here, so I guess we'll go out and wait for the kids.
They probably don't care.
Kids usually don't.
No. Oh wow, look at that. That's enormous. Oh my goodness. Just think when you ate your cereal this morning, that's where milk came from.
No, it's the cows outside.
Yeah. Them first.
This looks like a
Alright guys, this is where the milking actually happens for the cows. We milk 30 cows at a time. There's 15 cows on each side.
Whoa.
So what they do is they'll come in from the backside here, they get held in the barn until they're being milked. They'll walk in single file and they'll turn and they'll be standing next to each other. So when they're in here, you know, they're with their friends and they're comfortable. Okay? So what we do is we'll bring them in and we have iodine in the hose which we'll spray on their bag. Then we wipe them clean, dry them, and then we'll attach the milking unit. Now what the milking unit does is it's run by a vacuum. It goes up onto their teats and it sucks and it pulses. So what it feels like is like a calf is sucking on their teat. So they want to produce milk for their calf. It's just a motherly instinct. So that when we come in, I can show you how the milker looks. This is how they go onto the cow. The vacuum turns on, you pick it up and it sucks up onto their teat and then it melts them out. The milk will come through the hose down into this sensor and then into the line. What the sensor does is it tells the computer brain when the cow is starting to slow down on producing milk. Because we don't want to suck all the milk out of them, we just want to relieve the pressure. So it'll shut the vacuum off and it'll gently come off the cow. Which at that point we dip them again to keep their teat ends clean and no bacteria can get in. Okay? So, I've had people ask, do cows really want to be milked? And the answer is yes. You know how when you have to go to the bathroom and you feel uncomfortable because you got too much pressure on you? Well, that's what a cow's doing. They're carrying all that milk around in their udder, and it's uncomfortable. So when they come in, we relieve all that pressure off the cow, and then they can go out, eat, and sleep, and be comfortable. Okay? So, when they come in the parlor, this is called a butt candy. So where you're standing is where the cows are. The cow's butt will be pushed against this, and their head will be facing the wall. That way you can fit more cows in here at a time. And they're tight. That rail against... Yep, I'm an angle.
How do they know how to turn around?
They just do. They follow the first one, and it's just designed so they can stand side by side. That rail there is designed to extend out away from the wall because we have two different groups of cows. One is a large group of cows, so that way they're all the same size. And the other group is our old and our young heifers, because they're small, they can't compete with a big healthy cow. So that'll extend out to make it tighter, so that way we ain't gotta stretch all the way over to the wall to put the milkers on it.
Okay, if you've never been to a dairy farm, this is a good chance for you to see it. There's some cows eating their morning breakfast. Probably here staged for the milking process. Hopefully we'll get to show you that today. That'd be kind of cool. So what's your name?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn? What do you think of this farm tour? Do you think this is pretty cool?
It's awesome.
It's awesome? You think you'll learn a lot of things today? All right. What have you learned so far?
It takes 9 months until the cows give birth, just like humans.
Wow. I didn't even know that. Cool. So is this your first station, second station? How many stations have you visited so far?
Second.
Second
No,
station.
third. Because of the... Yeah, third technically.
Third station. So you'll have a fun time today and watch out where you step, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here the kids are learning what cows eat and how much it takes to feed them. So they're actually learning a lot and having a good time. I'm going to show you something that the NRCS office does for farmers. We help them put in called a manure waste pit, and most of the big dairy farms have these. And what it does is it holds the manure until it can be used at a different time. And this is something that the farmer can get help with. And it's very important for conservation practices. It keeps the manure in one spot so you don't have the runoff into the ditches and our water systems that we hold so dear here in Michigan. Maybe not hungry. Maybe she's used to eating it off the ground. Maybe she wants a big fat apple.
Keep your fingers straight down so you don't bite.
This is such a good experience for these kids. Hands-on. Get to play with cows in a little mud. You having fun today?
Yeah.
All right. Groundwater model. All right. And what are you going to show us?
The different porosities in the soils and how fast the water travels through them when they are recharged by either rain or snowmelt.
There's 10 miles of fungi in this, so you can tell how small it is, and you can tell how pervasive.
I know I always like to tell the kids at our farm tour that, you know, the water you brush your teeth with this morning was probably water that the dinosaurs drank millions of years ago.
There's a lot of life in a little piece of soil like
It's been recycled over and over for years and years. Is that why it might be important for us to be concerned about our water quality?
That's a very good point.
So what do we got going on down there? We got the blue dye coming down here in the bottom layer.
And how the aquatard is a dense layer that does not let the water through.
fungi and all these microbes are used.
And the water's traveling slower through the clay layer.
When we have healthy
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Very cool. So we have a lake up top. We have
Yep.
a river.
And then if the septic tank
a septic tank.
has a failure
So these are 3 different
and leaks,
kinds of soils that I've got set up. This is something.
There we go, and that's going right into that lake. Ooh, do we have problems with that in Michigan? I think we do. That's why it's good to have a good functioning septic tank.
And actually was tilled, but you can see it.
And if you're not sure if yours is functioning correctly, you can get a hold of the Natural Resource Conservation Service, your conservation district, Michigan State Extension Office, and they can help you out with these things.
So this simulates.
Thanks, Becky.
This is our rainwater simulator. We have undisturbed grass that's been there for probably 10 years. This bin we have a recently tilled farm field. This bin we have a recently tilled farm field with the crop residue left on it. So for the rain simulator, add some water to have that come across and see what we have for the runoff and the infiltration rate that we're getting in the bottom panel. So,
Yeah, you don't see much residue in the water on that one, do you?
nope, nothing's leaving that one.
All right. And this is where there's no ground protection whatsoever.
Yep.
And the rain is coming and it's
Yep.
washing all the topsoil
All the topsoil
into
will
our
go with
ditches and water system.
Yep. Yeah, all our good soil is leaving the field and then end up in our water.
And then this is one, is this like a no-till?
This one wouldn't be no-till. They chisel plowed, so they use what we call residue management. So
Okay.
they did till it, but they left the residue on top of the field.
Okay, so a chisel plow is not like a big,
Right, not like a moldboard plow where you totally invert the
Okay.
soil. It just cuts a narrow path through there and just
all right.
disturbs it a little
So
bit.
we can really see the difference that tilling the ground makes with water erosion. And that's a big problem when we talk about farming, is the water erosion, carrying the topsoil away from the area that we need to grow our plants on.
Yep. And when you live
Do that again. So when you live on Saginaw
so
Bay,
when you live on Saginaw Bay, that's ultimately where that sediment and the nutrients and pesticides that are attached to it would end up.
right, so that's one of the reasons why we don't have clear water. When
Yeah.
you look at water, you see this beautiful blue water that's out in some of the lakes, but then you see lakes that are looking like this, and that is because of the water, the runoff that gets in there, and it's all the silt that's virtually in the water, right?
Yep.
Floating
All
around
the
in the water.
sediment,
Yep. All right, thanks, Tim.
Okay.
And here's the other side of the manure containment facility. I just thought I would show this to you. This is one of the most important conservation practices a farm can do, or a dairy farm can do on their farm. This keeps most of the manure from running off into our groundwater, our ditches, our lakes, our rivers, our streams. We need the milk, we need the farmers, we don't need the manure in our water. All right, we have the meat technician. What was your name again?
Clara.
Clara. And what county are you out of?
I work out of Ogama, but I cover Aranac, Ogama, Oscoda, Roscommon, and Iosco.
All right, and what do you do for the farmers?
I work with farmers to assess environmental risks on their farm so that I can work with them and try to find solutions to maybe avoid those.
And what are you showing the kids today?
We are showing them a watershed model, so it's kind of dirty now, but we were looking at things that are on the surface, and then a big storm came through with the water, and where all that stuff on the surface goes with the water. And
Can you
pollutes
show
it.
us the storm?
I can. I kind of ran out of some water, but
Uh-oh.
I can do a big rush.
All right.
So you can see there's stuff all over the field, and we're gonna. All that gross water is going down into the lake.
So that's what happens when it rains, and it takes all the sediment, the topsoil, it washes it right out into our water system.
Yeah, and anything else that's on it, like pollution, do it from there. The cow poop.
Yep.
I don't know how to do this. Yeah, that's pretty gross.
So it's really important for a farmer to take conservation practices seriously on their farm, right?
Yeah, to think about where that water is going and how they can prevent runoff events like that.
How are you kids doing today? Are you learning anything? Yeah. Yeah, are you having fun? Yeah. All right, thank you. So today we have Bob Stein. He's a retired ag teacher. What do you think is important to teach these kids?
The fact that farmers really care about their animals, and they're not abused, and they're usually well cared for and well fed and well maintained.
There you go. My grandfather was a pig farmer up in Gladwin County, so I grew up on a farm. My other grandparents were farmers in Freeland, or the Ingersoll Township. So I come from a big farming background, so it is important to teach these kids about agriculture, what's going on at the farm. Most kids don't know. So thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure Dawn with Aranac County does too. Kids are learning a lot and they're having fun. All right, we have Tom. What was your last name, Tom?
Resmer.
Resmer. Okay, where are you from?
Pinconning.
Pinconning. All right, and what you got here today?
Well, what I have is I've got some old hit and miss machines that actually these two on the left over here are right around the 1900s, so they're over 100 years old. What they did is they used these machines basically on the farms years ago to run, you know, like our gristmill here, that actually the gristmill can grind corn, it can grind up to for chicken feed, also cattle feed, and also cornmeal.
I remember seeing one of those in my great-grandfather's corn crib or silage, or what do they call it, the grain barn. Yeah, in the grain barn. So can you show us how they work real quick?
Yep. This is a sheller, corn sheller. I'll start this up. And what it'll do, it'll actually take the corn cob from this to this.
All right.
Okay.
And you know, farmers always worked in the rain too, so I guess, you know, rain, yep.
It's what we call the final rinse, you know.
That's pretty cool.
Cobs come out here.
All right. And then she wants to keep working.
So what they did after that is they took this corn and they put it in the gristmill. And actually this motor would run it, but I'll show you by hand today. If you look down in here, the glass jar, you're going to see the corn being ground up. Now, we could grind it up for cattle feed, chicken feed, or also cornmeal to make biscuits.
Yeah, we like cornbread.
That's right.
Cornbread with honey.
That's right. So, if we look on the top, just to see the difference, this is the cornmeal.
Yeah.
And this would be your, and you can adjust it to whatever you want, but this would be like chicken feed. You can grind a little bigger for corn feed. Now, what I have down here is I have it's a 3-horse International, I'm sorry, McCormick Deering. And this ran pumps and various things around the farm. So let me see if I can get it fired up real quick for us.
Love these engines. They're so cool.
Okay, here we go.
How power came to the farm. Very cool. Okay. So this is an old Maytag washer.
Yep.
So what were some of the answers you got when you asked kids what this was?
Well, some actually thought it was a noodle maker. Some thought it was an ice cream maker. And actually it's a 1929 Maytag wash machine.
Oh yeah, we used to have one of these when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I know how to work one.
And actually you've got the ringers here, and of course the agitator here, as you can see.
Yeah.
And then
you're doing your laundry.
You're doing my laundry, that's right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Probably works better than the one I got at home right now. Well, thanks for being here today, Tom. I think it's really important to show the kids this stuff.
Well,
all right, we have Melissa here. She's from Michigan State University. What are you teaching the kids today?
Today we're talking about zoonotic diseases, and which are diseases that can be spread between people and animals. And we're talking about how viruses mutate from one person or animal to the next. and then about the biosecurity practices that we can do to help lessen the chance of spreading viruses.
All right, it looks like they're having fun and it looks like they're learning a lot. So we really appreciate you teaching the kids today, and we hope that they learn a lot, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Fighting, but we got wash your hands after you use the restroom, be a germ buster, biosecurity, and zoonotic diseases. So good information for these kids. Introduce yourself to us today.
Hi, I'm Beth Schwab and I'm from Aranac County Farm Bureau, and I was here to show the kids who Moo and Molly is. She's actually a representation of what a cow produces, both byproducts as well as what we're actually trying to achieve, which is a milk product. Each one of these doors represents parts of the cow that either gets used in production of these items, and it kind of explains behind each door. It tells the kiddos what each thing is. Like, this is a byproduct, soap and crayons from a cow. This is Jello, which represents gelatin, which is a byproduct of a cow. This is actually a long rope that the kids get to pull out. It represents the intestinal tract of a cow. This is a magnet. It is something that actually gets put in dairy cattle to help collect small bits of hardware that might go through their feed. This is another byproduct and the whole product that we actually want from a cow, milk and glue. And we let the kids know that you can pretty much count on a good producer giving us about 90 of these a day in order to be a good milk producer.
So 90 of those bottles from one cow. Woo.
And then lastly is leather, another byproduct of cows. Something that we obviously get from their cow hide. So this is how we go about educating our local youth. We also always have this at our county fair every year so the kiddos can see and they can kind of explore it themselves. You can see some of them explored it with crayons to see what color it would look when it was red.
And I see it's a Michigan cow.
Yeah. Some of our kiddos didn't even notice that. But
yeah, it's very cool.
The state of Michigan, both the upper and lower peninsula, are on there as part of her coloration. And she does represent a black and white Holstein, which is a predominant breed in the state of Michigan.
All right, well, cool. Thanks for being here today. And how you doing, kids? Are you having a good time? Oh, it's you guys again. Yeah. So, just because I can, these are the ladies that bring you milk every day. Well, probably not from this farm, but you know what I mean. Dairy farmers, they keep us in milk. These little ladies right here, they work hard. They're treated very good out here. This guy has a nice farm. Been doing it for over 100 years, so he knows what he's doing. I really appreciate you guys joining us today. I really think that these farm tours are really good information for the kids. They're learning a lot. They're having a good time. And this is like hands-on education for these kids. Very important. So we're wrapping up the farm tour today. All the kids had a great time. They're getting a free lunch. Getting free lunch from the Aranac County Conservation District. Did y'all have a good time? Woo! There they go. All having a good time.
Grab you guys. Get another bell.
Did you have fun today? Did you have fun? All right. Did you learn a lot?
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Well, Dawn, it's been a great day at this farm tour. We really appreciate you letting us do this for MCTV, and you do this for the community. It's an awesome thing that you do. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for coming. We just love having the kids here and doing this as part of our education and outreach. And we'll be doing it again next year, so maybe you can come then too.
All right, thank you.